as soon as you start talking to them, they just want to like pitch and like try to sell you on something. It's like, first of all, I don't even know you. Like, I don't even know if I like you enough to even buy into whatever product or service that you have. So let's get to know each other. Let's get to know each other a little bit first. And then you can tell me or pitch your stuff to see if I'm interested, or maybe I know somebody that's interested. But if you just start off with that right away, it just feels really icky and it just doesn't feel good to the other person. So pipe it down. Okay, reel it on in a little bit and just don't be too aggressive with it.
Welcome to the Friends in Beauty podcast, a safe space for ambitious beauty industry creatives to have real talk, get real answers, and practical tools to grow their businesses. My name is Aquia Robinson, and I'm a makeup artist, beauty educator, and the creator of Friends in Beauty. I created Friends in Beauty to support like-minded creatives just like you on their quest to connect, network, and build genuine relationships within the beauty community. Join me every week as me and my special guests reveal the keys to success and longevity in the beauty industry, and most importantly, have fun while doing it. You ready?
Hey, what's up? It's your best friend in beauty, Aquia Robinson. Welcome back to another episode of the Friends in Beauty podcast. I am so happy to have you here, and I hope you're listening to this episode in high spirits and in good health. If you are a friend in beauty, I welcome you to join the Friends in Beauty Facebook community. If you're looking for a community of like-minded, ambitious friends in beauty to virtually connect with, network, and share resources, then click the link down below in the show description to join us in the Facebook community, and I'll be there to welcome you with open arms. Also, let's get social. Follow Friends in Beauty on all social media platforms at Friends in Beauty. Additionally, the Friends in Beauty podcast is available on several platforms. We're on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Google, YouTube, you name it, we are there. And whatever platform you are listening from right now, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning into the Friends in Beauty podcast. I appreciate it more than you know. And I would love it even further if you took the time to leave a 5-star rating, a review, a like, a comment, a share, a subscribe, or something to let me know how you feel about the Friends in Beauty podcast. Additionally, Friends in Beauty is now on Patreon. So for as little as $3 a month, you can support the Friends in Beauty podcast. And there are also several tiers available that unlock Patreon exclusive content just for you, like behind the scene content of the Friends in Beauty podcast, bonus interview clips, a monthly Ask Me Anything, discounts, and so much more. So if that's something that you're interested in, I'll leave the link down below in the show description for that as well. Also, if you'd like to stay connected even further, join the Friends in Beauty mailing list tribe. They are the first to know about all things Friends in Beauty, and I send out different resources and tips throughout the week. So if that's something that you're interested in, join us over there. And last but not least, listen up. The most important thing is to share the Friends in Beauty podcast with your other friends in beauty, your family, your friends, anybody that you think could benefit from the information that is being shared. Share away to help me grow the Friends in Beauty community. Now, on this episode of the Friends in Beauty podcast, I want to talk to you about the do's and don'ts of networking, because I already know my friends in beauty, when it comes to networking, a lot of you start to get into your head and start overthinking. Some of you have never even officially been to a networking event before, so I want you to be totally prepared for this. We have 2 events coming up for Friends in Beauty, one of which is exactly 1 week away, the Friends in Beauty Networking Mixer on March 8th, 2023 from 6 to 9 p.m. at the District Lab. You got to come out and vibe with us. And then we also have the bus trip to the Makeup Show New York. And the Makeup Show New York is another amazing opportunity to network and meet so many people from not even just, New York, because of course we're coming up from DC. So it's people from all over. Seasoned makeup artists were there. Seasoned makeup artists would be there, and you might even run into like people like Sam Fine, Sir John, of course, Danessa. I've seen them. Well, Danessa works the makeup show, but I've seen like Sir John and people like that, Morel Hollis, just like walking around. So you want to be prepared, right? So whether or not you are a seasoned professional, like you've been in the industry for a long time, or you're just starting out, networking is a powerful tool for building relationships, finding opportunities, and just advancing your career altogether. You already know that I swear by networking. Networking is how I have gotten every single opportunity, every single major opportunity that I have gotten has come from networking. So that is why I am so passionate about it. That's why I'm going to continue to talk about it. I'm going to continue to beat it into your head until you get the point. Like, networking is where it's at. Social media is cool, but old school, bringing it back, meeting people in person, building those relationships are going to be so essential, and they are directly correlated to like how successful you can be, in my opinion. So there are some common mistakes that people make when networking that can definitely hinder their success. So in this episode, I just want to share some best practices with you to follow, and just common mistakes to avoid when you're networking, so that when you step out, the next time you step out to a networking event, you're going to be so confident and what to do and what not to do, that it's just going to be a piece of cake for you. So let's talk about the networking do's, the things that you want to do to, be successful. Here are some of the things that you want to keep in mind, some things that you want to do. So first things first, of course, you want to be prepared. Okay, that goes without saying. You definitely want to be prepared when you're going to these events. Research the event. Research the type of people that will be there. You already know for Friends in Beauty, it's going to be mostly beauty industry professionals, but sometimes we do get lucky and we have other, entrepreneurs that are there as well. But research the event and the type of people that will be there beforehand, and just have a clear idea on what you want to accomplish. Like, why are you going to this event? Like, what is the result that you want to get from attending this event? Do you want to make friends? Are you trying to make business connections? Are you trying to connect with potential clients? Are you trying to find a social media manager, a virtual assistant? I feel like when you know what you are there to accomplish, it just makes the process a little bit more seamless, because you have like a goal. So that can definitely like guide the type of conversations that you're having, especially if you're like looking for potential clientele. A lot of the times, like I said, when we had the Friends in Beauty events, it's not just beauty industry professionals that come. We might have a real estate agent there one day. We definitely have social media managers come through. So they may be looking for like, somebody to connect with to, manage their social medias and everything like that. Maybe you also want to set a goal for like how many people you actually want to talk to or connect with, so you don't overwhelm yourself. Because I know for me, the older that I get, it did not used to be like this a few years ago. But the older that I get, I feel like it drains me to talk to like a ton of people. So you already know, after the Friends and Beauty events, your girl is pooped because I'm the host. So I have to, talk to people. But if you don't want to overwhelm yourself, just give yourself a number. Just say like, by the end of this event, I want to have had genuine connections with at least like 5 people, if that makes you feel good. 3 people. I mean, that's already doing a lot. The fact that you even stepped out is doing a lot. Another part of being prepared is being ready to share your information. I know that some people still swear by business cards, but I personally do not carry business cards. And I always joke and tell people like, I'm trying to save the environment. Like I don't carry around business cards, all that paper just going to waste. So what you can do is go on sites like Canva. I just recommended this to somebody the other day. You can go on Canva and create like a single business card with just like a QR code on it that connects to like all of your links, or just connects directly to your Instagram, or however you want the traffic to flow. So that is another part of being prepared. It's just making sure all of your links work beforehand. They even have like those digital business cards as well, if you want to invest in something like that, where people could just like tap their phone and like all of your stuff pops up. But the QR code is super duper easy to do. You can do it on Canva and just go to a place like Staples or something like that and print it out. The next tip in what you want to do is be confident. Okay? Approach other people with confidence and introduce yourself. Okay? Don't be afraid to start conversations or ask questions. Networking events are all about having conversations, okay? I know it's a little bit difficult after the pandemic and everything. I feel like a lot of people have forgotten how to actually like converse in person and not over Zoom or something like that. But because it is a networking event, I want to ease your mind a little bit. And I always tell people this because it is in real life, it is strange to just walk up to a stranger and, strike up a conversation. They would probably be like, girl, like, I don't know you. But when you're at a networking event, people expect you to talk. Okay, people are expecting you to talk. That's what you're there for. So I just want to ease your mind. Okay, so if you walk up to somebody and start talking, I promise, okay, you will not feel like a weirdo. I promise. So have some conversation starters like tucked away. If you peruse on my personal page or the Friends in Beauty page, you will see my little formula called Mingle. To help you, start a conversation. But my favorite conversation starter, if all else fails and you're talking to a stranger, is like, hey, so like, how'd you find out about this event? Like, perfect. Okay, just have some conversation starters tucked away. Another tip for what you want to do is be an active listener. Listen to what other people are saying and show a genuine interest in their experiences and their opinions. Like, when you're talking to somebody, you can always tell when they're faking the funk or they're daydreaming or, just not really paying attention. And those are the people that I probably won't even, stay there talking to for too long because it just feels weird and awkward. But the more you get people to talk about themselves is the better. People love talking about themselves, okay? So ask questions, show genuine interest, see if you have anything in common, any common interests, and just take it from there. You can always like expand on or expound upon whatever common interest that you have. If you happen to go to a networking event and somebody is a makeup artist, you could talk about the products that you like or how long you've been doing makeup or, just find something in common. If you're both from DC, what part of DC you from? Like, you'll find commonality there. And the last tip that I want to give, which is like the most important tip that I always give and I always share with people when it comes to networking, is to follow up. After the event, follow up with the people you met to keep the relationship going. It's a waste of time if you don't. I always tell people this. Don't let your networking efforts go to waste by forgetting to follow up with the people that you met. Otherwise, you would have wasted your whole entire, what was the point of going to the event in the first place if you weren't going to keep in contact? So I always say 24 to 48 hours is the best. Reach out to them afterwards just to continue the relationship, okay? Don't forget to follow up is the most important thing. And I absolutely love that I shared this at the last event. And there were maybe a few people that followed up with me, which I was just so tickled with. They're like, I'm taking your advice. You said follow up. So I just want to follow up and keep in contact with you. And I thought that was the sweetest thing. If you can hear, I'm over here cheesing from ear to ear. I thought that was super sweet that they taking my advice and using it on me. Absolutely loved it. Okay. So just as important as it is to have, the right knowledge of what to do, I do want to share some things, some common mistakes to avoid, some things that you don't want to do when networking. So the first one is don't be overly aggressive. And this is especially for my extroverts, because we know that y'all come in the room, and I say y'all because I don't consider myself to be an extrovert per se, and I'm not an introvert. I don't even know how. I think it's called ambivert. I don't even know what it's called. I think I could toggle back and forth, but don't be overly aggressive. We know that y'all have these big personalities. Y'all not afraid to talk to nobody. You spark up the conversations. You keep the conversations going. But, you can bring it down. We're not telling you not to be yourself, but sometimes that can scare some people. Don't be overly aggressive. But when I'm talking about overly aggressive, I kind of more so, not even in personality, I kind of more so mean don't force yourself on people. Don't try to force a conversation or pitch your services or your products right away. before you even like get to know the person a little bit. Be patient and build the relationship first. Honestly, those are the type of people I probably don't keep in contact with, as well, because it doesn't feel genuine. Like, as soon as you start talking to them, they just want to like pitch and like try to sell you on something. It's like, first of all, I don't even know you. Like, I don't even know if I like you enough to even buy into whatever product or service that you have. So let's get to know each other. Let's get to know each other a little bit first. And then you can tell me or pitch your stuff to see if I'm interested, or maybe I know somebody that's interested. But if you just start off with that right away, it just feels really icky and it just doesn't feel good to the other person. So pipe it down. Okay, reel it on in a little bit, and just don't be too aggressive with it. The next thing that you want to not do, the thing that you don't want to do, is just like focus only on yourself. Networking is a two-way street. And yes, I did say like people like to talk about themselves, but you want to keep the conversation like flowing back and forth. You don't want to just have the person just stand there listening to everything that you're saying. Make sure you're also asking questions and you're showing an interest in the other person as well. All right, because we've seen people do this before where they just talk. And sometimes, like, maybe I want to share a little bit about myself too. Like, dang, is it all about you? Definitely had people do that before, and it's totally weird. But I also think that some people do that as like a nervous thing. Like when they're nervous, those people that just talk when they're nervous. And sometimes I do recognize that. I'm a very like understanding person, y'all. Like I be letting people have their moment, but it can be like a little weird. Another thing that you don't want to do, if you can help it, and this is especially for like my introverts, okay? Don't show up too late to a networking event, because we already know that you have a hard time, just being around people in general. But if you show up too late and the crowd is already popping, like the majority of the people that already RSVP that's in the room, it can feel a little, I don't want to say icky, but it can make you feel a type of way. Like it makes you definitely a lot more nervous, because you're like, okay, people are already talking. They're already in groups. Like, how do I insert myself? Now I kind of got to stand over here in this corner. It can make you feel a little weird if you're not used to like inserting yourself into conversations, or, it just makes you uncomfortable to just be in a room full of people already, and you show up and it's a room full of people. Like I always say, like, if you can help it, because I know people's schedules are different and everything. If you can help it, I would say show up within like the first hour of the event, if you can help it. If not, you better bring a friend with you so you could like bounce off of your friend. But don't show up too late. And this is like specifically for introverts or just people who have a hard time just like connecting in general. Last don't be unprofessional. Okay, remember that networking events are still a professional setting, so don't get too casual or use inappropriate language or anything like that. And that's a private conversation, and that's the vibe that y'all are on. I personally have not come across this at the Friends in Beauty events, but I've definitely seen it go down at some other places. But yeah, just remember, this is still a professional setting. You still want to make a good lasting impression on people. So keep that, inappropriate language or inappropriate just talk, to a minimum, or don't do it at all unless that is a part of y'all personal conversation. That's none of my business. But as a rule of thumb, you just want to keep it, professional. Okay. So I hope that was helpful. I do want to give you some extra things to keep in mind, because I just can't help myself. I want to give you some extra things to keep in mind when you're networking. You definitely want to be authentic. Be yourself. Okay. No matter what that is. Okay. Be yourself and show your personality. Authenticity definitely goes a long way when you're building lasting, genuine relationships. And just remember that your uniqueness is the value that you add to any room, any place that you step into. Your uniqueness is the value that you add. You don't have to come in, pretending to be something that you're not. If you are shy, if you are introvert, if you are extrovert, if you are a connector, bring that. Bring that energy to the room. We need the balance. We don't need a room full of people that's just on 10, okay? We need some people that's going to balance it out. So be authentic, be yourself, show your personality, and remember that you are the value, okay? Give before you receive is my other tip. Offer value to other people before you ask for anything in return. This will make you so much more memorable. Like, I'm telling you, it could be as simple as sharing a helpful article, making an introduction. This has definitely helped me. This has definitely happened to me before, where I met somebody at a networking event and I wasn't able to partake in whatever they had to offer, but through conversation, they connected me with somebody that they made an introduction and connected me with somebody that I needed for another part of my business. And I will always remember her for that, so that any other time when I can make that same introduction for her, I'm definitely going to do it. So shout out to you. Or even like, it doesn't even have to be all serious all the time. Maybe you see like a funny video and you want to share that with them just to give them a good laugh. That's why it's really important that's why active listening is so important when you're talking to people, because if you send them a helpful article, make an introduction, or send them a humorous video just based off of whatever conversation that you had, that's going to make a lasting impression too, because they're going to see that you were actually listening and engaged in the conversation. And this is the last tip that I want to share with you, and I'm going to let you go. Remember, networking is a long-term game. Building relationships, especially genuine relationships, takes time, okay? So be patient, be consistent in your networking efforts, and it will be sure to continue to pay off in the future. I promise you, okay? I have connections that I made, just like I think I mentioned it in last week's episode. They're connections that I made like at least 6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago, that are still paying off today, okay? They just keep on rolling in. So this is for the long haul. You'll get lucky if you do meet somebody and it turns into something right away, but continue to build that relationship, continue to nurture that relationship, continue to network, get out there and meet more people. The more, the better, okay? The more, the better. This is about quality connections, okay? The more quality connections that you make is going to pay off, I promise you. So now you have some marching orders, okay? Now you have some marching orders on what to do and what not to do when you're networking. Remember, networking is an essential part of professional development, especially in an industry like ours. It is very important to know people, and it's important to approach it with the right mindset and the right behavior. So by following these do's and don'ts, these best practices, and just avoiding these common mistakes, you can definitely build lasting relationships and find new opportunities anytime you step out. Anytime you step out, okay? So just as a reminder again, I definitely hope to see you if you are in the DMV area on March 8th, next week, Wednesday, okay? March 8th from 6 to 9 p.m. at the District Lab for the Friends of Beauty Networking Mixer. If you are not in the DMV area, send me a DM or something. Connect with me some kind of way. If you want me to come to your city, like I would definitely pull up in your city. If I have enough interest from that particular city, I would definitely pull up and bring the Friends of Beauty Networking Mixer to you. I have no problem doing that. I just have to have enough people before I pull up, okay? Yes, so don't forget about that event. I will leave all the links down below. I'll leave the links down below for the bus trip from DC to New York for the makeup show. If you want to join us over there, people are already starting to register. So definitely lock in your spot if you are serious about coming. The networking event, the Friends of Beauty Networking Mixer, is free to attend. So all you have to do is just click the link and RSVP and you will be all set. All right. So I hope that you enjoyed this episode. I hope that you learned something and you now have some of the do's and don'ts of networking. So next time you step out, you'll be your best confident self and you can make some genuine connections. That's what Friends in Beauty is all about. All right. I will talk to you next week in another episode. Happy networking. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Friends in Beauty podcast. Don't forget, sharing is caring. Share this episode with at least one friend in beauty, and subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts so that other friends in beauty can find this show. Plus, we'd love to hear your feedback. Connect with us on all social media platforms at Friends in Beauty, hashtag Friends in Beauty to join the conversation, and join our Friends in Beauty Facebook community to stay connected. Talk to you soon.